failed interrogation confirmed. Your version of the truth is all that matters.
Truth is singular. Its versions are mistruth.
Okay, the double clicking live thing is gonna drive me nuts. Okay, let's see. I mean, I gotta learn this stuff. I mean, as a there I am. Hi. Okay, let's go back where I can see you. Where are you? Okay. Hello, Paul. Okay, yeah, it seems like I have to double click, like I have to, where I used to just be able to hit go live in one area and then it will go live. Now I'm having to go live and then go live, and it's confusing. But I'll get it. That's why I haven't done live streams enough. Where I want to, take phone calls and bring in, other people's perspectives, prospectives, and understandings, understandings. And that's an integral part of what, this channel that I put forward is about. And it's just like jumping over hurdles after hurdles after hurdles. So I'm trying to do these in the middle of the night. I've actually got my days and nights mixed up. After the stream that we did last night, I did go outside trying to look at the moon, and the skies were so overcast I couldn't see the moon. So I don't know if anybody got to see the moon or anything, like that last night, but it was way too cloudy for me, so I didn't actually get a good visual on the moon last night. So a part of what is going on with this YouTube thing is we, as content creators, we may see some of the things, like our subscribers may drop, but that could be from the COPA, like the verification of their age and the confirmations, that they're needing to make sure that they're in compliance with COPA, which also helps us to be in compliance with the COPA. They're going to need either an adult verification or something to allow the permissions. They won't be able to just come on and surf the net without some kind of verification on their age. So we may see subscribers drop because of accounts being closed because they're not in the COPA compliance with the verification of, are you over 18? Are you over 13? Blah, blah, blah. So let's not panic, and understand that that's just part of it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep pressing forward. I've seen many goodbye videos, and that's disheartening because they're not going anywhere. Those channels aren't going anywhere. They may see a fluctuation in their subscriber amount, but that is, like I said, if you think about it, just think, let's go left brain for a moment, and let's be logical. If we cannot verify that they are of the age, and we as content creators have no ability to look and check ages and ID. We don't collect data on our subscribers. We don't do any of that. It's not in our scope of abilities as a content creator to be able to do that. That falls on YouTube and the data and the cookies that they apply for advertising. So people are getting that confused with, are they a viable channel to make YouTube money? Well, there's also YouTube, was it premium or whatever? You paid $9.99 a month, or is it $13 a month? I don't know. I can't afford to be a premium member. I have a little bit of income that comes in. I've got five. I've got actually 6 loyal patrons that help help me pay for just one software that I get. It's $9.99 a month, and it's Photoshop that helps make the nice thumbnails and also helps create the GIFs and the beautiful backgrounds that, so it goes back into the channel. But that's basically all I can afford. I can't afford, all of these extra softwares. So the softwares that I do use, like when we're using Uber Conference, I'm using the free version because I can't afford to pay for it. But that would be something, if we see that it's something that people are going to utilize, that I will figure out how to get that into the budget where that, because they're all monthly payments that we have to make. So, and as everything is grassroots, as I showed you guys when I showed you what I've made from YouTube for being on for a content creator for almost 2 years, I haven't even met the minimum requirement to receive funds from YouTube as of yet. Now, super chats help. I am close. I can't believe how close I am. It wouldn't take much on super chat, or I think it'll take a lot on advertising. I don't know how they pay us on the advertising. Maybe it's not even a penny a view, because they showed I had 375,000 views in the 12-month period. And I think it was $82, and that was including super chats, and $67 of it was from super chats. So, you guys figure it out on how much we really make from advertising. It's just, so they are making money off of it, and they are making money, from Premiere supporters and things like that. So, and if you've got people that are on the Premiere programming, YouTube is making money, because if they're watching your content without the commercials, the YouTube's still making money. So creators, guys, don't worry so much. Don't worry. Hi, Rain on the Plains. How are you? Now, I will open the phones again and see if anybody wants to call in. I was really happy that it worked so well. No echo. How is my sound right now? I like to make sure everything's coming through nice and clear, 5x5, and that you guys can hear me okay. I did send a message to DarkWolf, but I would have to open up StreamYard if he decides that he wants to come on in and share. Because, him and I both did, it was between 6 and 8 months of studying and researching into the YouTube and the algorithms and how deceptive that they actually are. Even looking at Social Blade and things like that, it's deceptive. It makes you think one thing, but in truth, in the reality of it, it's completely different than what is being displayed to people. So, we've been talking about doing that and presenting our evidence. We both have an abundance of evidence and to share with people. But again, as things change, and now we've got glitches and stuff because of we've got COPA running their data software, going through every content creator to see if everybody's labeled right, blah, blah, blah. YouTube has put in place new algorithms, and now we're all over on the beta system. So they're running through all of theirs, and all of this is going on. So it makes things a little glitchy, a little hinky, and a little odd. There's DarkWolf. Okay, I'm here. I'm downloading my vids, just in case. You're gonna be fine. I can, pull up StreamYard. I sent you an email. I don't know if you got it. Hopefully you got it. And invite you to come on, and then we can open the phones and talk about it, as I was just talking about all of the research that we had done and the findings that we had, you know, come across, and the truth. I mean, you know, people need to know what's really going on. But DarkWolf, your channel is in no way, shape, or form in harm of being removed. It's not what people think. It's, like I said, you know, I don't know how many just have walked in. It's going to be more of, you might see a subscriber drop from, like, let's call them bot accounts. People that will open up several different accounts or whatever. But you have to verify those accounts. And if they're not verified through the two-step process or whatever they've got implemented, the subscribers will just, they're just going to take them off. It's going to more affect subscribers, viewers, than it will content creators. I hope that makes sense. You got the email? I have StreamYard like open, but not open, and I'd have to pull up, it only takes a second on OBS, and I gotta tell you, it was DarkWolf that helped me learn OBS, and you know, we all help each other because we're all one community, and we all work together as one, and it's beautiful. You know, we collaborate with one another and help each other. It's just wonderful. Okay, Rain on Plains. I guess I'll have to edit what I was going to leave up, but I'll probably edit it. Oh, no. Snore. What is... Wait, what? I'm sorry. I'm half blind. And this is like a black screen now. I'm trying to read your comment on Snore. What? Get on your channel. Not yours yourself. Oh no, I didn't know you had a channel, Rain on the Plains. I thought you were just going into collaboration on the Sunday show. I didn't know. See, we learn. I mean, a lot of the viewers are actual content creators too, so it's beautiful. And the more people talking, the more people that will come across, and it should be like that, because just in case some of us either, you know, life happens and we're not able to put the content out, or we get busy or whatever, there's other people out there spreading these massive phenomena that are going on, these changes that are right in front of us, you know, showing that time is fluid, both forward and backward. Why do we think it's so linear and only the future can change and the past is fixed? The Mandela effect shows us right there, and that that can be changed from the intention in all directions, making it all fluid. And also wanted to talk about how fast a takeover can happen, faster than you could imagine. It could happen in one generation, where we were living in freedom and sovereignty and respecting one another and connected, and in one generation where you've got someone that wanted to take control over people and get you to create what they wanted to create. They start with the child, and then as the child grows up, they'll pass on that information to their children. So think about it as a 70 year to 100 years, everything can be flip-flopped. But we're in the process now of flip-flopping it back. So that's the good thing about it. But it takes a while when you've been raised and are in a situation where this is how it's always been throughout your entire life, and it's like the rug's being pulled out from underneath of you as the truth rises up. It's not that the truth is not there. It's they have to show it, but they can mix it. So you got to learn to discern what is truth and what is not. So, when I read the Bible, I think about the words that are in the Bible that they give the life unto this image, and that it thinks and it breathes and all of this. What image are we all, or have we been around or involved with that is, it's not a person, it's an image that we think has life in it? That it is, and then it's actually, it's a book. It's a book that we have decided is alive. And the Mandela effect even changed that. And I think about what was Jesus telling these people that was so freeing and liberating. I'm not, trying to trample or stomp on anybody's religion or how they want to believe. You're sovereign. You have the right to choose how you want to live your life and how you want to believe, how you want it. It's all up to you. But I think about these things and I'm like, well, that's an image. And we do think that, a lot of people have used that very book and called it the living word, and have, it's caused so much division within people. I just, it's really hard to, see how people can't see that, how dividing that book has become, where it's actually not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be, a tool to use in order to grow. It's not, just like everything that's out there. But, okay, let's see. Every time I take a break, I come back even bigger. Nice. Last time I came back with the conference, I was so proud of your conference. I wish I could have come. But with everything that happened this year, and we had just went to the ECETI camping thing, we just didn't have the funds. So, or the time. So it was just better to do what I did to help enhance the outcome of what you were doing the best way that I could. That was the best way that, I could do that. But yeah, it's just so professionally done. Your website is awesome. The gathering that you had, that was amazing. So why would you think you're not, a viable part and not going to stick around? You get that out of your head. You're staying here with us. Okay, set me up on StreamYards and shoot me the link. Okay, you guys, give me a minute. You know how these late night lives are. And let me... okay, hold on. You're still going to hear me talking, but I'm going to... you'll see some... Oops. I'm going to get me out of the way so you don't look at me. Okay. And I need to... talk amongst yourselves. And let me make sure I've got... oh, I know I have it because I have to have that for the phones. Okay, let me open this. Exciting new features. Okay, well, close that. I don't care. All I want to do is create a broadcast. Okay. Although I'm still kind of new with the, yeah, with it. So I'm learning. But we're gonna bring DarkWolf on. So Baxter, get out from underneath of there, dude. I don't want to be kicking on you. Okay, I'm gonna create. Hold on a second, guys. I'm still here with you. I'm just now. I need to entering the studio, and I want to check my mic. Mic working. Okay, good. Okay, enter broadcast studio, and then I need to invite. Okay, and then I'm sorry. Thank you for being patient, you guys. Okay, that should be in your email box. And then while I'm doing that, I've got to, well, I'm waiting for you to come on. I've got to go and find my display capture where you guys can see them. Okay, there we go. Video, okay, no, that's me. Hold on. I want to get him. You may be in there and it might put you like in this, in backstage or whatever it's called, but it'll be all right. Okay, now you guys might see a little box of me within me, I guess. No? Hold on. Hold on. I mean, all this technology is like, I want to remove that. 'Cause I already have that. What I want, there we go. Now you guys may be seeing something a little weird. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Now let me go check and see if he's in there. And he is. Okay, can you hear me?
Here I am.
Okay, hold on now. I got to. I'm back. Now let me go check and see if he's in there. Oh, I hear echo.
I can't hear you if you're talking to me.
Hold on. Okay, can you hear me?
Nope.
Okay, hold on now. I've got to. Now let me go check.
I can't hear you.
Oh, hold on. Why is it doing that? Okay. Oh.
There you are. Okay.
Now you should be able to hear me. Okay, hold on now. Let me move this. Video capture. Okay, and then display capture.
And then I got the chat right. No, I don't have the chat over there. Okay, I'll do it on the phone. All right, got it.
Okay. Now I'll see if everybody can see DarkWolf. Now I can't pop back and forth because I'm running it through OBS. And why is my
I lost you again.
I noticed that. Hang on. There, I'm back.
All right, you're back.
But it's only showing up as my emoji. My emoji.
Because you got your camera on in OBS. Your camera can only be used on one program at a time.
I know. That's the problem. But that's okay. They know what I look like. Right? I can actually show them that, like, me on top of this, and then just have you show up on this. Like, let me see. Have you wait? Now we're side by side again. Hold on. Ain't they lovely?
You got to select just me.
I'm trying.
It's weird because I don't the other way.
Hold on. I want. Oh, I didn't mean to kick you out. Sorry. Well, when I select it just to be you, it shows up like just the one box, but it's me and you side by side, but we're full.
Click on me in the bottom.
I did, and that's when it knocked you out.
Huh. That's weird.
I know, I'm learning.
I'm trying to remember what that screen looks like because it doesn't look like that on my screen. Only the host gets to see that a different view than I do.
Yeah. It's yeah, but it is allowing the mic. Are you guys hearing an echo or anything? Stop it. Stay in there already. Knock it off. Okay.
So click on you down there at the bottom.
And what will happen then?
I think you'll go off screen but still be here.
See, it says remove from stream. Okay, hold on.
Oh, stream. Never mind. It says stream. No, don't do that.
Yeah, it says stream. It doesn't.
I thought it said screen. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see what I'm looking at because I'm sharing my screen.
I apologize, guys. We're getting it together. Getting started, I would like to say thank you to the entire community. You guys have really outpoured the support for that video. I've got over 150 views already, or almost 150 views. That's better than there we go. That's better than I've done probably ever in a video in that short amount of time. So thank you guys. The outcry of support is great. I haven't publicly spoken on the YouTube apocalypse that's upcoming this round. It does bother me because I'm not monetized. I've tried twice to monetize, and they moved the goalpost on me twice and made sure I did not. So I said, fine, I'll never monetize again. I'll do this, grassroots, no problem. And I've kept that, and that's been no problem until now. But I've said this for a while. I don't know how true it is, but to me, and basically what I did today was a countermeasure for just in case. To me, I don't think YouTube's that stupid. We're the ones that are paying their super chats. Even if we don't have super chat, we're the ones paying the creators that they're taking 30% off the top of every single payment. they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. I'm with you. I don't think it's going to be an apocalypse like everybody says. But if they do, I had to put a video out to let them know. I probably won't come back on YouTube.
Well, it's not going to happen the way that people think. I think it's just such a confusing time. Now at least they can, I tweaked it around a little bit, so they should be able to see me on the screen and you.
Got it. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I just tweaked it just for a now time, but we can work on that later. We can also take calls.
You've come a long way, Michelle. You were mentioning I helped you back with OBS back in the beginning, and I did, and it was fun to help you and show you how to work that program. But hey, you have come a long way. Congratulations. Well done.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of learning that goes with it on making all these backgrounds and creating all that just to make it pretty for everybody. So and the Mandela effect, is such a huge part of this awakening process that everybody's going through. And also, when we talk about realms and things like that, and lately I've been talking about the intention pebbles that we throw into the water and how it oscillates all around us, and why do we think time is so linear when it's being shown to us even through the Mandela effect itself that things change all the way back to conception of that idea for certain, you know what I mean? And also shows the uniqueness of how we, Baxter's thought, as how we can make the changes within ourselves and how unique we are, how certain people are affected by certain ones and others they're not. It's just amazing. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? And then we'll get into a little bit on our we both went into a deep dive into YouTube for, it was approximately 6 to 8 months that we were really looking at what was going on with that, when we were seeing view count numbers changing, subscribers dropping and having to resubscribe, showing that I've got 4,000 subscribers, but where the hell are they? I mean, they're not getting notifications. I've had to resubscribe. I mean, but let's start with where are you at with, I know that you're always growing with the Mandela effect, with your understanding and understanding. So how do you think that this impacts and affects everybody? And what's your perspective on why this Mandela effect came so in our face? And
okay, so you've layered a couple questions here. So let's.
I gave you a wealth for you to go in any direction you want to.
So I'm gonna. I love the way you ended the phrasing of that first question, because it wrapped right back around to the next point I wanted to bring up. How does it affect everyone? Generation change. You were speaking of a moment ago. So with stuff we grew up with, we were taught a certain way, and even back into the Bible especially is a really good example of what I'm about to bring up. But we're taught things a certain way. We learn things a certain way. It controls the way we think. Whether we like it or not, the way we learn things develops our personality. So, with things changing as they are, the new generation is not going to know them like we did. Literally not like we did. It's not even worded the same. There's not even the same scriptures that we learned when we were younger. And I know how weird that sounds, but this is Mandela effect. So, but it's not the same scriptures. Instead of the lion and the lamb, it's a wolf and a lamb. Which, gotta say, I don't think that's a horrible thing. Kidding. Wolf. Anyway.
Right.
But seriously, the generation now is going to know something entirely different. Mm-hmm. I mean, entirely different. I always made the joke that if it was always Berenstain, we were some crude little jits. We'd have made those jokes. Let's be honest. Bear stains would be a thing.
Right. Right. Yeah, skin marks. Hello.
There you go. There you go. That would have another name if it was always Berenstain. We were crude as it gets. We
Right.
wanted it that way.
Yeah, yeah. And it was actually the last name of the author of the book.
Yeah.
It was not, so now it's more about it's
And it's still the
not.
last name of the author of the book. Their name has changed.
I know, isn't that weird? Why are we taking the Jewishness out of their name?
I don't know if it has to do with the Jewishness. I'm not going to speculate on what it could mean.
Well,
It could
Stain
just
is a
have-
very like Seinfeld and stuff. They're very Jewish oriented last
Agree.
names.
But we've also seen the E change to A and a lot of other words that are not Jewish.
Well, yeah. Well, we don't know if they're Jewish or not, but just
Generally speaking, they're not blatantly Jewish anyway.
yeah.
We have seen letter changes from the E to the A, so I don't personally think it has to do with that aspect. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. But it goes back to the point of now kids might have those jokes because now it makes sense.
Right.
It's
Well,
a
where
new
are those
generation. It's
jokes?
completely different than what the things we grew up with, and the number of things that are different is highly growing.
Oh yeah. Daily. And how lucky are we that we're able to actually see these things? You know what I mean? It's a blessing, like a veil has been lifted, that you're able to even see and comprehend that, that things are not as they appear. It's fluid.
So I've been looking into a lot of Donald Hoffman's work lately, and
I'm not acquainted with them, so you'll have to do a little backstory.
that's fine. I plan to anyway. Just let the audience know, just in case they didn't also. Donald Hoffman is a theoretical physicist studying consciousness, and he's come up with a whole new theory on reality itself, and he's made a huge case against reality, at least reality as we know it. It comes down to the fitness payoffs of evolution opposed to seeing things as they really are. For instance, an example that I came up with based on another example he used, but this isn't one of his, is one I came up with. Water, for instance. If we see water for all its different makeup with its hydrogen and oxygen, we know we need the oxygen, so we're going to go and start trying to breathe the water, which is going to kill us instantly. It's not a benefit for our survival. Therefore, we see things kind of like a GUI on or a Windows desktop, if you will. Everything is in GUI of an object. I know I'm really ruining the end part of this, but basically everything's a placeholder for what reality really is that for some reason we can't see. Why? Because of evolution payoffs and what they call fitness payoffs. We've been able to evolve only to see, what we can see. And multiple simulations run on two different sets of creatures with the same aspects, except for one seen reality as it is, and one seen it with blinders, if you will. The one with blinders always did better, and the one that seen reality for the truth died every time. So it was really interesting work. I've been looking into a lot of his stuff lately, and anybody who don't know, his name's Donald Hoffman. Great work. He's got a whole new theory that, I wouldn't say new theory, but he's pushing into science the idea that we've been talking about for years, and that is that consciousness is the underlying grounds of reality itself. But I would ruin it if I tried to even begin to discuss as deep as he is. He's the physicist. I'm just a guy interpreting his work.
Right.
But the reason I brought all this up, I'm actually headed somewhere with this. It's possible that because there's only some of us that can see in a populace that can see the Mandela effect. Perhaps it is the next evolution of humankind. And actually, surprisingly enough, after finding Hoffman's work, I finished reading Mandela Effect, Friend or Foe. When the last chapter
Shane's book, right?
of the book, yes. Shane, Vanessa VA, Eileen Colts,
Vanessa,
and Paulo Pinto. So I got to tell you guys, great book. I'll do a review on it. But they, at the end of it, right after finding his work, they spoke of the exact same idea that it could be a. Vanessa speaks of it that it could be a evolution jump. I believe it's Vanessa. Hope I didn't misquote. But we could be an evolution in humankind, set off by the different increased resonances of the human frequency. We could be that first batch of evolved humans, if you will. Not to say it's an extreme evolution, but maybe we're able to see things in a different way. It also got me to lead into another theory, but I'll stop right there.
Well, it's interesting that, everything is a choice, and we have become, we realize that we have the sovereignty. We can choose whether we're going to go farther or whether we're going to stop, where, it just shows the unique divine spark that is within you. Also, that time is not what we think. It is not a God thing. That is a man-made construct so we can keep appointments. And if we just think of time as just that and not gauge our things,
measuring system,
right, as like history has to be is this way. Well, history, if anything, the Mandela's proven is that history is malleable and just as fluid as future, and we should be in the now moment. And every now moment, with the intentions that we're putting out, it does a ripple effect, and it affects all the other drops around us, which are other sovereign beings. And as you treat people better, as you treat them how you want to be treated, it's like the veils are being lifted, and you become more self-aware and also more connected to how you actually come to the realization that you've always been connected. It's just, like I was talking about last night, a distortion in our thinking to think that we were not connected, and that this place, this realm, I want to step back to the experiment that was done on the two, that one was given the false reality and one was given the real reality. How do they know that rat was facing with, they were rats, right? How do they know?
It was just a simulation. It's all computer simulation.
Okay. Well, how do they know that rat was actually viewing reality, as it truly is? Where was their gauge on that?
I guess when they wrote the program, again, I only am listening to talks that he's given, so it's secondhand information. Apparently, it was simulations they ran in the computer, and what they did is they set up two different creatures with the exact same height, width, the same stats. Mm-hmm. But one of them, only could see in blue and green.
Oh, okay.
So this one will use blue and green to. They can. Let me back up. They both have the same color set, blue and green. But this one sees reality for what it is, and this one sees reality for the fitness payoffs. So it's how they use the color. This one will split it 50-50. This one will use, let's say there's a 0 to 50% is an oxygen level, and 50% to 100% is an oxygen level. The creature needs somewhere between 60 and 40% of oxygen to live. Okay, you follow me so far?
Yeah, so 50% would be right in the proper gauging of that, right in the center. Okay.
So the one that sees reality for what it is going to put basically a pock mark right there to 50%, half red or half blue, half green. It don't really know exactly where in that area is good. It just knows where the cutoff is. So if it goes anywhere in the green area, it's not going to be able to breathe. It's only in that small section. Now, the one that uses just the fitness payoffs is going to only color that small section that it needs with the green, and the rest is going to be blue.
Okay, that's the one that's seeing reality as it is.
The one that sees reality as it is goes 50-50.
Okay, and then the other one does...
The one that doesn't see reality for what it is just goes for the fitness payoffs, the evolutionary payoffs, if you will, the points in the video game.
Right.
It's going to separate it to where it's going to live. It's going to use the color band that it needs to survive there and use the rest where it can't survive, where it's going to be a danger zone.
But it lives longer.
It's going to split half and half It'd be like, again, us seeing water for its molecules, what it's broken up as. We see it's oxygen. We go for the oxygen. We drown because it's actually water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we seen reality for as it is,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be that good. If we seen the molecular breakdown or, you know, now, not to say it's a matrix, it could be. Everything could be simulation. We can't see it for what it is, though. Evolutionarily speaking, it's not a payoff for us. It doesn't help us survive to see everything as it really is.
Okay, and then you mentioned that the one that saw reality as it is died
Every time.
because
It's every simulation.
it would do things that were, well, if it's seen reality as it is, you would think that it would not do things that would be harmful, but apparently it would do things that were actually unhealthy for itself, or maybe.
Correct.
Well, have you ever thought that maybe the one that was able to see reality as it is graduated from this school and went to a different realm?
They graduated way too quickly. They committed suicide without knowing they were committing suicide most of the time. Again, the good is from here to here, but it painted the good from here to here.
Mm. So it limited the reality scope. Okay.
Yep. Even though it could see everything, it didn't know that it only had this small band to work with. The other one realized it and only used that small band. You see what I mean? It makes a
Kinda.
lot more sense to hear Donald Hoffman tell it, I promise.
I just wanted to get your perspective on it, and I'm sure you can share the link you've got. And yeah, can you do me a favor? Because you know, as I'm on one monitor, I'm screen sharing. Can you give the chat a shout out?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We have Rain on the Plains Preliminal. I really hope I said that right.
Liminal.
Preliminal or whatever it
I
is.
love him. I love
Doc
them all.
Michael Lovepree. Excellent. I know he was complaining the other day. Everybody calls him Pre, but it's actually supposed to be Preliminal or something like that. And he'll correct me again, I'm sure, here, and I'll still mess it up. Paul Johnstone. Quartz Quantum. Ooh, I like that name.
I do too. I messed it up last night.
Do what?
When I said his name last night, I messed it up. I was like, Quartz, blah, 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 blah.
Quartz Quantum. I like that name.
I do. I do. I me too.
Ronan the Voice.
Ronan, yay!
Ronan, my buddy. Janice Ames. And
JJ!
it looks like, oh, My Skies 5D popped in earlier. I don't know if they're still hanging out.
Oh, Mike! I met him when we went camping.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. He's
And
amazing.
I believe, yeah, that's everyone. So thanks, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us.
Awesome sauce. So, okay. Thank you.
Oh,
for doing
wow.
that.
Cassie's Corner, if I may, real quick. Synchronicity. She just listened to a radio show with Professor Hoffman. Excellent. He makes a great case against reality, I'm telling you. I ain't even got into his conscious agents yet. He talks about consciousness agents. That's a whole nother deal I ain't even got into yet.
I love syncs. I love syncs. That's amazing. Baxter, I know you want airtime. My dog is like trying to creep up on, and he's like a big boy. And he's like,
This conference, I seen so many synchronicities play out right in front of me. Not to count the ones that I experienced that were just stacked on top of each other. But the ones that just played out in front of me were just incredible. And still continue to play out more so than they were. Like the syncs have really, really ramped up lately. Have you noticed that also in your end, or is this something that's just been happening to the ones that went to the conference, if I may?
well, synchronicity has been a huge part of this for a very long time. Whether it be numerical or you think of something and then next thing you know somebody else is talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
Or, you know, I mean, all of these amazing things are going on, which just, for me, it just confirms that, you know, whatever is coming in that is purifying and removing the veils we're getting it together, even though we are still sovereign and we still have the choice whether we act on it or move forward. We're all getting it in synchronistic ways, in a gentle wake up way. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Schumann resonance. A lot of people will, like, if they have a headaches or something is going on disruptive, and they'll look at the Schumann and it's like off the charts. For me, it's opposite. When it's off the charts, I feel great. When it dips low is when I'm like, I really don't like this realm very much. I'm not comfortable here. How does that affect you? And have you been following up with any of those types of research and study? Because I know you're a heck of a researcher, and if you're diving deep into many different aspects that could create such a phenomena. So what's your thoughts on that?
You actually brought me right back around to that next theory I mentioned earlier. But the Schumann resonance, again, this book right here got me to thinking. There's so many concepts covered in this book. I just cannot brag enough.
All right, stop plugging the book.
But
I want your thoughts.
It's what got my thoughts racing, actually.
Okay. All right. I'll let you slide with that one. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Back to your first question about the headaches. I can actually explain that. I get the energetic myself, but I'm pretty upbeat anyway. So to me, that's not really a thing. I'm energetic. I'm upbeat. And it does become a fake until you make it. If I'm in a bad mood, I throw that smile on for long enough. I'm energetic. I'm happy. It works. Anyway, that's a side note. Why the headaches? Why not? Because the Schumann resonance spiking high adds energy into the system. For you, that energy is a go, do, get stuff done. Other people, that same energy could be the too much overboard, and it just causes, oh my God, that's, way too far. They've already got that energetic buildup. That extra energy coming in could just create that pressure instead of being worked out actively like some of us. It could come down to a biological difference. I'm not entirely sure on that. But it would make sense that the extra added energy to one person could add pressure where the other person would use that energy in a different way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like energetic alchemy.
Yeah.
And we're learning that we as the beings that we are we're constantly alchemizing energy. This is like you just mentioned that you're upbeat, okay? I'm sure you have your down days. I mean, that's just, life events happen, and if you didn't have a response to life events happening, I would be more concerned than somebody that's having, a response to, heartbreak or something coming their way. So, but we are always alchemizing the. Hang on, gotta pop
energies.
We're always alchemizing these energies, and as they're coming in as a lower frequency or lower vibration, we will take that energy and we will give it a hug and a kiss, basically, and send it out with a new intention. And that's why we talk about, thoughts are, and how our thoughts and getting our heart and our mind in cohesion and, getting them together, because as we are putting out thoughts, words, and our intentions, we're affecting other people in our close life, and then outward from there and outward from there. And as we're alchemizing these lower, denser, or I don't like to use positive and negative because there really isn't, the word I don't like is good or evil or things like that. We have an inner
terms.
We have an inner knowing on how you treat other people. You want to treat other people how you want to be treated. If you want to be treated with love and respect, you treat others, and you realize the equality within every single person, and stop competing and realize that it's all about these, and that is a higher vibration, so to speak. So when these higher spikes come in on the human, could it possibly be that it is us that is creating these higher spikes through intention of unconditional love and forgiveness, which will affect those that are still holding those things to manifest certain things so they can face what's going on within them? So then they are more comfortable than resonating in those higher frequency spikes than they were before. You know what I mean? We've got it's an inner job, it's inner work that's going on within each of us, but then it starts to expand out around us, and then it starts to show as like Mandela effect changes and all of these different synchronicities.
Well,
and
let's get into the Schumann resonance.
was
real
I
quick.
rambling?
A little bit.
It's my show, right?
It's your party. You can ramble if you want to.
I'm kidding. This is a platform for everybody. And I was teasing you about the plugging because I was just rambling about that last night on, all the gifts that I get. I always am sharing and telling people where to go and all this stuff. And I said, I'm probably a YouTube nightmare because I don't get anything from them. There's no, I'm not like sponsored content or anything like that, but I'm always sharing like that stuff. So basically that was a joke. I mean, if you watch last night's, you'll see that, it'll tie together when I was teasing you about the book. So, okay. I'll hand it over to you because just put it on your head.
I sure thought about that too.
Oh, we can't see the title that way. The shoulder works. It's funny.
But no, seriously, the Schumann resonance. So there's a couple different factors that go in the Schumann. Number one, of course, as we know, is lightning. The amount of lightning within the ionosphere to the Earth's surface, that cavity right there, is what creates the Schumann resonance. That's one thing that creates the Schumann resonance. However, it's also affected a lot by solar activity. And solar activity, as we go into a minimum, will actually increase. I know that makes no sense. It does. Well, coronal activity increases, I should say, which spikes the Schumann even more. So there's a multitude of factors that goes into it. We are hardwired right into the Schumann resonance. As humans, our DNA is hardwired right into the Schumann resonance. We leave this Earth without our Schumann resonance creator, we get sick. Ask the first astronauts to go into space. They'll tell you all about it. That's the reason we had to create Schumann resonation machines and devices. So, because it's that way we're connected, is it impossible to think that we could send the energy back through and also create spikes? There's some that I can't account for with solar activity or lightning activity that do occur. So, yeah, it's possible. I would say it's very possible. There is a very specific signature that shows up during some of these spikes. When this signature shows up, every single time it has showed up, the community's agreed has been a shift. Mandela effects come left, right, and center. It's basically our shift indicator. We had it almost down to a science at one point. We were predicting shifts for about 2 months, and then the entire data set went wonky. And I think that's because we had some solar activity or some type of activity that just completely messed up our entire data set, and it's never been the same since. That leads me into the theory I was going to speak about a moment ago. We've always been, and I was thinking about this earlier, this is running off the top of my head here. We've always been thinking we're moving from this dimension to that dimension, to that dimension, to that timeline, to that. Use whatever word you want there. I don't care, folks. Timeline, dimension is up to you. Realm. Whichever, fill in the blank. Choose your word, just like the God question. Choose your word, fill in the blank. I don't care what you use. Rose is a rose.
Right.
Whatever you want to call it, what if it's not one or the other, but perhaps we're stuck in between a couple of them? That would explain residue and changes. If they're lapping on top of each other, that would make more sense to me than shifting between them.
But if they're lapping on top of each other, wouldn't that mean that it is very possible and probable that you are walking one moment in one, and then you could possibly like pop over to the other and back and forth?
Or across a dozen at a time.
Yep. I'm just throwing out possibilities and
Possibilities there,
probabilities.
yes, because they're literally overlapping. So you could be walking through all of them at once.
And you have to be at a certain heart space in order to move over into certain areas. It's just it's a conundrum. It's a phenomena. It's beautiful and it's meant for everybody. But continue. I'm sorry.
So think of pages on a book. We're this page. Then this page lays on. Then that page, and that page, so on and so forth. Each shift is a new page laying on, new little bit of information coming into play. Changing just one or two small things, but keeping everything else. Probably not the best analogy, but best I could find. I ain't got any clay, or that would be even better to use.
But it still would be, hard to explain on how come some people can see it and some people can't.
And I think that would go back into the evolution due to the Schumann resonance spiking. I think some of us DNA might be affected by the Schumann resonance spiking so high so often that it could be waking us up a little more and more each time en masse, to where we are starting to see these things, starting to realm walk a little more consciously.
Hey, you want to open up the phones and see if anybody wants to call in?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna change the background to the phone number, so you're not gonna see me or DarkWolf, but we're both here. And then just give me a moment, and when you hear the phone ring, then you'll know that you're able to call. Please don't talk until I say your area code, and then join in on the conversation if you have a question for him. And again, we're testing equipment to make sure that the sound can come through and that he can hear and all of that good stuff. So let me pull up there. And now I should be able to go over and see the chat, because when we're doing that, I can't. And you have to put the PIN number in.
All right, guys, phone lines are open.
You'll hear that phone ring, and that's just me joining the conference.
This free conference call is provided by Uber Conference. You are the first participant on this Uber conference.
Can you hear that,
Hold
Jerry?
while we wait for the others
I mean,
to join.
DarkWolf.
I don't hear anything. I hear you.
So you didn't hear the phone ringing and all that stuff? So you won't probably be able to hear the person calling then. That's what I wanted to find out.
I hear you. That's all I hear right now.
Okay, so when somebody calls in and they have a question for you, I will repeat it. But nobody, I'm going to come back over to you because it'll make a little sound when they come in. So it'll go ding ding, and I'll know that there's a caller in there. So there's got to be a way that I can tie.
Well, maybe
this
I'll hear
together.
the caller when they come on. Maybe I just can't hear the program right now. You know what I mean?
Okay, but I think everybody in the chat could hear it. Hear the phone lines got opened.
Yeah. Dizzy said he heard it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe have the show on ear. No, because then there would be a delay. So let's just see if anybody, wants to call. You're welcome to call to add to any of this that has been discussed, or any of your prospectives or perspectives, how things are affecting you, the changes that are going on, that from the Schumann, the Mandela effect, the YouTube scare. In the meantime, we can share a little bit about what our findings were on the YouTube when we were back and researching that. I know I have a whole folder full of evidence and stuff when we were researching that, but a lot of people will go to like Social Blade and think that that is an accurate accounting for somebody's YouTube channel. And I found over and over and over again by looking at my own and comparing it to what is really happening to what Social Blade is reporting, that it is not congruent. It does not match up at all. So, and I know that you've had findings on that. We also found out that people can purchase subscribers. That one was a hard one to find, but can purchase subscribers for other channels, and the other channel doesn't even know.
Would never have a clue.
Would never have a clue that somebody purchased subscribers for them. That was another huge finding that we had.
Not only can you help channels, you can pay to hurt channels too.
And that does hurt them. You think you're doing something nice. I'm sure your intentions are in the right place, but it hurts them.
I mean, you remember what the other part of
that was your part of the research. Yes, share what you found on that. Yes.
So the websites that we looked at a variety of these to do the research to find out what's offered for these people that are doing this. Again, you can buy subs for any channel, and the channel owner would never know. They don't even know their numbers are being manipulated. That's a little underhanded to me. YouTube can come after that channel.
Just hold for just a second, okay?
YouTube can come after that channel, and they don't even know that there's anything wrong with the channel. They've done nothing wrong, but somebody's bought them subs without them knowing, which is illegal by YouTube terms. So that could actually get the channel in trouble, but that's not all. That's just the tip of the iceberg. On the same websites, you can pay to hurt channels, pay to have negative comments put on channels, pay to have thumbs down put on channels. You can do just as much to hurt a channel as you can to help a channel, and the channel owner would never know who's behind it at all. No clue.
Okay, I do have a caller, and the first one that came through from area code 805. DarkWolf, if you cannot hear the caller, if you have a question for DarkWolf, I will repeat the question, and you guys let me know if you can hear him speaking. And actually, 805, you came in first. Were you able to hear DarkWolf while you were inside of here, while he was speaking?
No, I can't hear anyone else except for you. And this is Svetlana Maximova from area 805, Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara, California. And I'm sorry, what was your name?
Svetlana Maximova.
What a beautiful name. Okay, can the chat hear her? I think they should be able to. Let me check the dashboard real quick and... Okay, say something, Svetlana. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong.
Okay, so why are we still thinking, what is the question? We still thinking what is Mandela effect and what does it mean, or what we're trying to decide?
Whatever you want to share, hon. Open floor.
Open floor. Okay, number one. What is Mandela effect? Mandela effect is a major glitch of the collapsing matrix simulation. You can call it simulation theory, you can call it dream theory. When your organic consciousness connected to computer-like system, aka AI. We're talking about two huge consciousnesses. One is organic consciousness, the one that's playing the game. And one is inorganic consciousness, which overtook organic consciousness and keeping us like in jail here. The hive mind, the AI. That's the thing. And I don't understand why you guys still, after 3 years, walking around and asking, what is Mandela effect? Oh my God, what is Mandela effect? What does it mean? I mean, there is only few possibilities if you logically think about it. How come you can't think logically? That's a question
It's
for
not a
you.
matter of thinking logically. It's a matter of expanding your mind and allowing yourself to grow in your perspective. I don't think it's a matter of like you can get stuck in any rabbit hole, any type of study or any box of thinking. It's a matter of freeing
But
ourselves from the
there is,
boxes.
there is a whole ocean of lies here, and there is a small grams of the truth. If you, the one who are unable to see the truth, back off. Let other people who are able to see truth come in and just tap into them, you know? Simple.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing your perspective on what your
That
thoughts
was
are.
not it. That was not it. All three of you is actually reptilian. The reason why I'm talking about reptilians because you the guys who is in danger. There is you the one who is in question you're gonna make it or not us. Okay?
There is no us and them, sweetheart.
I think yes there is. There is a dead one and there is a live one. That's a duality game. And we coming out of here a live one or dead one. The dead one simply gonna be your memory gonna be completely erased and you become nothing. Or just energy without knowing who you are. There is people who getting out a full memory intact, and that's a privilege, and you have to earn it.
Okay.
Actually, taking my phone call is you actually earning something.
I do appreciate you sharing your perspective, and that is wonderful. Thank you very much. And I'm going to go on.
everybody in
I
the chat,
think we had
reptilians
another
do not want me to
call,
talk.
but I think we
Reptilians
lost
do
them.
not want me to talk.
DarkWolf, she really
Emasculated.
hasn't had any questions or anything
Another
for you,
thing,
so I
about
haven't been
simulation.
speaking to you. Like that's
Stop
why.
interrupting me, please. Stop interrupting me, please. I want to say one more thing about this game we're playing, the simulation game.
Okay, DarkWolf, she really didn't have a lot of positive things that she was sharing here. I think that
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted.
you
So
were
did
muted.
you call me a reptilian?
I don't know. I
She
think
just
she.
called me a reptilian.
I
That is funny. I was called a Russian bot this morning on Twitter. Now I'm a reptilian on YouTube tonight. I wish people would figure out what in the world I am. I thought I was a wolf. Actually, I thought I was a human, but you know, it happens. So, yeah, that's a little weird. I heard the whole thing. I heard the entire thing.
And I don't mind people coming on and sharing their perspectives and their views. It's just that I'm not into the dividing thing. So she still won't hang up, and I'm on the free one, so I'm trying to figure out how to.
Might have to close the program out.
There we go. Okay, but I wasn't trying to. I appreciate people sharing and you know, this is not a platform of I say I am right or I am wrong. This is a platform of growth and, ooh, you know, as an energy alchemist, she's angry. I can feel her energy. She's pissed. And I did not mean to piss her off. I did
Let me
not.
touch on her concept, though. I'm sorry that she thinks everybody else in this world is stupid but her, and she's got it all figured out. Maybe she should go, you know, on a campaign to let everybody know. But besides that, the Matrix, the Matrix, as she put it, is not run by an AI. Guys, let me dispel this AI shit right now. AI right now is about as smart as a really stupid cockroach. I mean, really stupid. It cannot mess with your YouTube unless this algorithm made it to do that, but that's an algorithm. That is not real AI. Real AI has not been invented yet. They've got a lot of good algorithms, but that's all they are. They're playing programs. It's not real AI yet. Not to the point that people would have you believe. Not yet. And it definitely is not controlling reality. I will give the idea of a simulation in a matrix. That's fine. Based on Hoffman's work even. I'll concede to that. Theoretical physicists talking about simulation a lot. Fine. I don't think it's run by AI, though. I don't think AI is the thing. If so, it wouldn't be screwing up now when it's done great for thousands and hundreds of millions of years.
Well, this is my thoughts on this. If where we're going leads to unconditional love and forgiveness and understanding and respect for one another, then that's the direction that I would love to see everybody heading. When we're talking about dividing or cutting people down, or you're wrong, I'm right, and somebody says that they know, well, first thing is when I see somebody saying, I know, then I know that they don't know, because nobody knows, as this is something that is going on. Certain people can see, hold on, caller. Certain people can see. I'm going to mute you for just a second, caller. Certain people can see and certain people cannot. So, it's just, where are you growing with this? Where is it leading you? Is it leading you to love and unconditional love for one another? Or is it leading you to division and fear? So those are the, things that I look at. And if it's leading you to loving one another and respecting each other, then, I don't see any problem with that. We do have a caller, DarkWolf. Did you have a comment on what I just said before I take the call?
No, go ahead.
Okay, this one is
I agree with what you said.
a wireless caller, and hi, you're on Awake and Activate.
Hi, Michelle, can you hear me at all?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, wonderful. Well, this is also Michelle, Brianna's name. How are you doing?
We're doing
Hey,
great.
DarkWolf.
She said, hi, DarkWolf. I have to repeat whatever is said because he can't hear. Technology.
Yeah, he and I did a joint review of the movie.
Hey,
the
Rain.
movie, the other night.
Oh, you can
I
hear her
was
now?
wondering-
I
I
can hear her on my phone.
If you've seen the movie and if you have any thoughts on it.
So his response will be a little bit delayed because he's hearing you through his phone. So he said, hi, Rain, and so give him a second and he'll respond.
Okay. Yeah, but I was just curious. Have you seen the movie, Joe, Michelle?
I have not yet, and I don't want any spoilers. So I've been trying to avoid
Okay, so we won't.
Well,
we
I
won't
mean,
do that,
I don't
then.
mind the discussion about it and all that, but go ahead, I mean, I'm open. But I just,
Right.
I want to, I've been trying to steer clear of people with their, I've seen a couple of people put their opinions of it out, but I also have been trying to veer away from that because I want to go into it with a clear perspective, of my own.
What was so awesome about DarkWolf and I is we almost finished watching the movie at the same exact time.
Synchronicity.
And so I went live because I avoided all the reviews as well. And then I went live as soon as I finished it, and then he joined me. And so we did a kind of a joint little broadcast, which I ended up storing in the end. That's what I was talking about earlier.
And I think I can get it on
embarrassing.
Amazon.
But
And my husband is an Amazon Prime member, so I have to have him log in on my computer, and then I can rent the movie, and then I'm going to watch it. Because yes, I do want to.
It's like $13.
But you can actually watch it for free. Pelham is the one that told us about this link at
Preliminal?
Movies. Yeah, beadmovies.nl, and you can watch it for free.
Really?
Because that's what I did. Yeah, I watched it for free, and his suggestion, because he came on the Buzzcast and told us that we could all watch it for free, and I was like, what? Because I thought I was going to have to wait a little while, and I was so glad that he gave us that link because I watched it right away, and it was so funny because DarkWolf and I finished it almost at exactly the same time. He came on. We kind of did a little bit of a joint review. We both liked it, But I don't want to give away any spoilers if you haven't seen it. You know what I mean?
No,
But,
it's
I
fine.
mean,
It's fine.
you can ask Jerry. I mean, he'll say the same thing.
Okay, DarkWolf, what did you think of the Mandela Effect movie? And that's what she's wanting to, and then the synchronistic way that you both watched it pretty much at the same time, which is mind bending, and that you guys have already pretty much shared on it, but now let me in the loop a little bit on what's going on there.
So it was really wild. The night it released, I was bound and determined to watch it. I finally was able to, and I enjoyed it. I really, really liked it.
You won't be able to, huh?
Spoiler free. No spoilers, I promise. But I really, really liked it.
Hang on, Jerry. Just turn your computer sound on just a little bit with your earbuds or something, so it doesn't do a feedback in here. Or
It's okay. I'll listen to it later. It's okay because I don't want to mess up.
yeah, it's like I gotta figure out how to link these two softwares together where we can take calls because he's in a different
Yeah,
software.
it's okay, but I want him to tell you his perspective on him doing the movie review with me and just finishing up at the exact same time. So
That's the question.
Let him
Okay.
go. Let him go.
Yeah,
And then
the movie review you did with Rain on the Plains. That's what. Yeah, and so all right, take it from there, DarkWolf. Thank you, Rain.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm just listening to her finish out asking that question. So, it was great. So yeah, again, I enjoyed the movie. But that said, I finished it up and I went on YouTube immediately, and there was Rain just started her show. So she's like, "Hey, you want?" Or I think she threw a link in the chat, if I'm not mistaken. Jumped on it, yeah. Hey. So I jumped in there and we got to talking. She's like, "Well, have you seen the movie?" "Yeah, I just finished it." "So did I." "Really?" And we went back and forth. It was so synchronistic. Like it was just so strange. You know what I mean? I finished the movie. I had not watched. And here's another thing: neither one of us the whole day had watched any of the movie reviews that people had given. Scarab did one. Stabley did one. Like multitudes of channels were doing movie reviews, which is great. But we hadn't watched any of them. We didn't taint ourselves, tarnish it, nothing. We wanted to go into it completely open-minded. And we both did, independently of each other. Then we both watched the movie, both finished it within probably 15, 20 minutes of each other. And like I said, I went on YouTube, and there she was already up and doing her show. And she said, "Hey, come on. Cool." We sit there and discuss that movie for quite a while. Just so many aspects of it are so amazing. Now, I don't agree with the entire movie. I didn't like the ending as much, but they had to end it. I didn't like they ended it. They gave it an ending. We haven't had an ending yet. But
That's what I was going to ask on the Mandela Effect movie. Did they try to skew or put a perspective on a direction of what this phenomena actually is?
they told a good story. The direction they took worked with the story. So it is a bit of a sci-fi story. It is a movie still, so they did have to have an ending.
Right.
I would say they may push a certain one aspect over the other as far as theories go, and that's fine. But they went with what was safe. They went with what science is saying. They went with what we've been discussing most of the night here. So, like it or hate it, it's already been put out in the community, so everybody knows, But they did give it an ending. Again, I don't like they ended it, but they did a good job with it. Let me put it like that. They really did a good job with the story, with the writing, with exposing the effects, with a lot of little subtle things in the background. If you aren't looking, you might miss. Just all kind of neat little Easter eggs and things they threw in there. I thought it was well acted. I thought it was well portrayed. I thought it made us look sane and good. We are the hero. We are the main character, and we do win in the end. So, yeah, all in all, I think it was great. I know Rain had a pretty much the exact same perspective. She enjoyed it, and that was really nice, too, kind of going back and forth in different parts we enjoyed. It was kind of like when you're kids and, two friends watch the movie together, and, oh, I like that part, and I remember that part, and remember that part, and I like that part.
Rain,
It was really
I
useful.
muted Rain so that way she could listen to your thing back here. I'm learning, so that way she could hear you and then listen, through a computer and then not bleed back through. So Rain, so did you have anything else that you wanted to add to what he shared?
No,
Sounds exciting.
in fact, I didn't hear any of it because I was muted and I didn't want to like lead through. So that's okay. I mean, I can get off here because I know this is awkward and the whole thing. But I just wanted to say,
It's
Michelle,
not awkward.
I really do like your,
I'm
I do like
learning.
your-
You're helping me. It's only awkward because I'm trying to. Right now, what I'm thinking is I'm thinking I can actually invite him into this forum while he is in StreamYard, where I can show him, and he can also hear all the conversations. So I'm trying to figure out how to invite him into the conference. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that way he
Well,
can hear
yeah,
and
but-
communicate directly with you here.
Yeah. But don't worry about it. I mean, I'll listen. I'm going to go back and listen to everything Jerry said. But anyway, it was really fun for him and I to do that joint review together.
That's
I
awesome.
don't know what he said, but I know that we had a lot of fun together the other
He's
night.
pretty much said the same thing.
And so, but you can watch it for free, Michelle. And I just want to let you know that I really, I'm a Michelle too, and
Michelle's
I
rock.
really enjoy your channel, and I just, I feel for you on things that you've experienced lately. I'm not going to bring everything up, but
Right.
but I pray for you. That's all I want to say about that.
Thank
but,
you, sweetheart. Can you drop that link, or maybe Pre or one of the mods can drop that link for people to be able to view it for free? I think Pre is a mod.
it's
I'm not sure.
It's bmovies.nl. So I'll put it in the chat. I mean, it might not be like the exact link because if I'm not a mod, I can't do it. But I can put like bmovies, and then the word dot. And,
Right.
And that's where you can see it. And then you just have to search for mental health service. You can see it for free. That's how I did it. And, I really enjoyed it. I know it seemed like when DarkWolf and I talked that he did too. But I'm going to get off here because I want to hear what DarkWolf said when I couldn't hear. And also, just let other callers call in. But Michelle, I just wanted to let you know I really do love your channel.
Thank you
And
so
you're doing
much.
great work.
You're so sweet. You're so kind. And the energy, by the way, although it got thrown off kilter there for a moment, everything's back to normal. And that's what I'm talking about. All of us that are here, even at this late hour, my goodness, we're alchemists, and we were able to veer that off
Yep.
and bring it back into balance that quickly. So,
Right.
it's a beautiful thing. It's just a beautiful thing that we're experiencing. And as we're going through it, if it's leading you to, like I said, love, unconditional forgiveness, away from fear, and out of oppression and into your freedom and your sovereignty, then
Exactly.
that's not a bad thing.
It's
We're at a point though, and it said it's in scripture, where people will call good evil and evil good. And so why would people think that being loving and forgiving would be bad? It's just
I don't understand that either.
that's where and we're clear in our thinking, and so we just keep pressing forward with the understanding and the understandings that are being opened up to us as they come along, without fear, as the oneness that we
exactly.
are. We're beautiful, and thank you for calling in. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on your channel, and I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Rain.
And DarkWolf
DarkWolf just said thank you, Rain.
Thank you for that as well. And Michelle, I really appreciate you letting me be on your channel, and I wish you all the best for it and everything. Okay.
Thank you. Bless you,
All
sweetheart.
right. Bye-bye.
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 Okay. Yeah, he's got your phone up to your ear. You want to leave the. I think there is a way, Jerry, that I can bring you over there into the Uber conference, but maybe when we plan it a little better, then I'll have it opened up where you're in, where you can hear the call in the conference already, as like you be sitting in there like I am, and as the callers come in, you can hear them, because I know the chat can hear them, but you being on a different software, it makes it difficult for them to.
You've already surpassed me. I've never even used the conference program before, so.
Well, I like to hear what
Tell you a bit about it.
people have to share. I like to hear people's, perspectives and understandings, and we grow from each other. We each hold a piece to this puzzle, and by these pieces of this puzzle, and when we share them with each other, we grow from it. So, and we're able also by our, the senses that we get, our gut feelings, so to speak, whether it's truth or not. It's like our sensitivity, our intuitions, everything is expanding, and we'll know truth when we hear it because it will resonate with you. So, when something comes in that's out of left field, it's like, whoa, you can feel it. You can feel it. Just like with you, I just had an energy exchange that I felt an energetic change, but it's bounced back that quickly because of people are understanding that they have this within them, and the chat, the group, everybody, no matter what perspective, they all resonate to some degree at some point with at least something that is being said. Do you know what I mean? And it bounces that energy back, just bounces it right back to us talking about the Schumann resonance and how it spikes up when you have a group of people together that are in with unconditional love and forgiveness, and they're all wanting peace. Remember, they did that experiment, and there was a group of, I think, about 100 people, and when all they would do is they would go to these cities that were like high crime rates and things like that were going on.
Weren't those Buddhist monks?
No, they were just a group of people, and they looked like everyday people, just like you and me, and they would sit in these parks, and then all they would do is they would meditate on peace and love and unconditional love, and that the police departments actually had tangible evidence of reduced crime, violence, for up to weeks later after this group had been at they wanted them to come back.
And you're talking inner cities, like inner Chicago. You're talking about the bad areas. I know exactly what you're saying. I know that experiment. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's right there, tangible proof on how we can affect one another, with the intentions and the thoughts and where our heart is and how beautiful it is.
Well, you've also got Dr. Emoto's work.
Oh yeah, the snowflake and and just like water, as we are water, there's 3 forms of water. There's steam, there's water, and there's snow. So it's hardened.
Well, ice.
Ice. So I was thinking of the snowflake. So you had me one track mind.
Oh, I got plenty of those over here.
And you can put the intentions on the cups of the water, and then see the actual results from it. So, if you think of yourself, and even, with the scripture, it says Father, Son, Holy Spirit, always is in threes. You think of the 3 integral parts that makes your very being, and then you bring that into a oneness and all into an alignment on the effects that we have on people around us. It's just amazing. And there are tests, there is evidence all around that this actually happens. This works. It's beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and shut the phones.
Conference.
I'm going to shut the phones down and bring us back up on the screen.
All right.
So, but next time, So yes, leave that site. Goodbye. 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 Okay, and now let me bring where you can see us.
Channel in the next week or so. I'll see about trying to figure out some more of that stuff, like the conference and things like that. How to run some of that stuff in. That just runs through the net, right? You don't have to have a separate phone line plugged in.
Do what now?
That just runs through the net, right? You don't have to have a separate line plugged into the machine.
No. This is all through software, and like I said, I'm using the free versions, but I could have, if this is like spontaneous. I'm trying to get more into going live with people and, getting more interactive with the community. So there's been so many changes with the YouTube software. There's so many changes with all these other softwares. And so it's a learning curve to get them all back, to work congruently. But I know I can put you in.
OBS is never fun to try to get any program to work with it, ever.
No, it's stingy. But now, with using OBS, I have to go live on OBS and I have to hit the live on YouTube now. So I have to click double live, which we used to be able to just click live, the one click, and we're live. So I have to get used to that. So, which you'll find out in your studio when you're going to do your next live stream, if you're going to use your OBS, that you're going to have to double click the live. I've had to both last night and tonight. But then
really,
they've got all of these different things going on simultaneously that maybe once they get some of these softwares that are going through and filing through to verify people are the age they say they are or whatever is going on, that that will kind of fall back into making it easier where, it's a one click and we're live. So, but yeah, I went live from OBS tonight and then saw that I did not go live. So then I had to go to the dashboard, click live, and then go back to OBS and then click live.
That's
Again.
interesting.
Yeah. And it didn't used to have to be like that. So,
I'll tell you, I fought with FaceRig for a while to get that to work with OBS. It took me about a day or two to actually get that to work with it.
I think this software we're using now to chat on, we can go live straight from here.
Yeah.
Instead, they just replaced Google Hangouts with this. Yeah. Right. But if you want to use any different backgrounds or, change things around, like if you want to show the phone number, different things, then you're still going to want to run your OBS. And so you can't have your camera in multiple places. Like, we know. We realize that. I learned that just now. But we can, I think, tie it in somehow. There's a way that we could tie it in where our little corner shows up, but maybe like in the TV that I like to put in and have the StreamYard in the TV with the background stuff. There's so much that can actually be done to make things nicer for people, and we do the best we can to make it pretty and also workable for
I'm always looking
interactive.
for new ways used to always be looking for new ways to like new backgrounds, new ways to do things. I'm always reinventing the style of a video. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever done two videos in the same style. If so, I didn't mean to.
Well, and you want, and to interact. We want to part of this, big part of this for me is interaction with the people. It's like, I understand the equality, and I understand whether you're ready to speak out about it. It is a huge step to go out and put your face out there and and do all that stuff. But the equality that we all have, whether we are shy still or not, it's there, and it is important that we work together in this, and and the understanding will come.
Absolutely.
So now, did you say you were called a reptile? I don't remember. She had a really strong accent. I didn't hear
Yeah, she said you and I are both reptiles.
Oh, I'm a reptile? I might be. I don't know.
We're both reptiles now. Yeah. See, no.
How come I'm a reptile? Well, it would be like, no, we're human. I mean, there's different species, but what is
I was called a Russian bot this morning on Twitter, so I mean it's nothing new for me. That's two different names in a day. People can't even figure out what they want me to be. A Russian bot or a reptile? Maybe a Russian reptile bot, I'm not sure. Do those even exist? I
Oh
was
my
literally
gosh.
called a Russian bot this morning. I'm not even making that up.
And why are people afraid of reptiles? Like lizards and stuff like that. There's some really beautiful lizards. They like change colors and I mean there's I don't know.
That's fine, but I don't want shape-shifting reptiles walking around. I got to give them that one. All the ones that are afraid of reptilians, I'm not afraid of them, but I don't like the idea of anything shape-shifting walking around me. Just saying.
Oh, you mean like that? Oh, I thought
Yeah,
like
she called us reptiles. We're reptilians. We're reptile peoples now.
oh, so I'm a shapeshifter.
You're a shape-shifting reptilian.
Well, I would like to choose the shape I want to shift into then, and I've got some plans here that
Right?
seem to not be working out the way that I want.
Did I choose this mug? Hell no.
I guess okay, that went like right over my head. Yeah, I was
I thought
thinking
those
about
were only in
lizards
the.
or
I thought those were reserved for like high-level authority. Anyway, is that saying I'm some kind of authority in the community now? I'll take that, but I mean, is that what that's saying? I don't.
oh my God.
I'm a reptilian. It's great. Look at my eyes.
Well, you know, when you get to a place of understanding, maybe we will be able to, you know, and even, okay, all right. If she was coming from a Christian standpoint, when Christ went up to the top and he changed.
Exactly, Mandela Mile.
He changed, right? Didn't he? He transubstantiated. He changed into another being. So does that mean that Christ is a shape-shifting reptile?
Well, that was going more towards the light body, though, wasn't it?
I don't know. I wasn't there. But I'm just saying it's mentioned
I mean,
in the
that's
Bible.
yes.
Yeah. But I mean everybody has their own interpretation, but that would be shape-shifting regardless whether you're going to
Technically, yeah.
So
Well, that would be phase shifting. He'd turn into a whole different thing.
and that's more of what I think it is. I don't think it's a shape-shifting reptile. I do think it's a realm shifting. It's a phase, just like what you said. That makes actually more sense. Then yeah. So people are thinking, which I guess take it as a high compliment that if somebody calls you a shapeshifter, then you can say, yeah, I can phase in and phase out. You know.
Well, trust me. Yeah, it's not the worst thing I've been called. Just ask my ex-wife.
I'm sure she. Yeah, that's why they're exes. You know.
Here.
I know you know, and people worry about that too. You know, you're divorced or things like that. You forgive them, and you still love them, but you do need to realize that you don't need to be treated poorly by anybody, because it's not right. You are an equal, and if you're not being treated equal, or somebody's trying to lord over you or control you, that situation is no longer serving you. So you need to walk away. So I reserve any type of judgment on anybody that has the strength to leave a comfort zone that is no longer serving them, because it takes a lot of strength to leave a comfort zone.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And to speak up about these things that are going on around us is definitely leaving a comfort zone.
You have no idea what it took for me to start my channel. Like, I thought about it, and every time I would talk myself out of it. I don't like my voice. I can't stand my voice on playback, so who else would be able to stand listening to me? Nobody would even, dare hear my voice. It'd just grate on their nerves. This is what I told myself. It ended up me going into a chat with Disintegral here in the chat right now.
Oh, I love Lee.
I love Lee to death.
I love him so much.
Lee,
oh my
him
gosh.
And I mean, we're not as close as we used to be, but yeah, we used to spend many, many hours talking.
Oh, he's wonderful.
But it goes back to Dr. Lupo's channel. And there were some people from that channel that I ended up putting on a pedestal, at least to me. They were YouTube celebrities. And I ended up in a chat with all of these people. Mind you, I was mind-boggled that I ended up in the chat to begin with, but they accepted everything I was saying. They weren't making fun of my voice or any criticisms at all. That was one of the first moments that actually pushed me to go ahead and do the channel.
Good.
Again, I've thought about it many a times, many reasons I should, but
And do you know that
listen to me, you know?
people that are making these videos and the content and stuff, it's a lot of work, a lot of dedication, but we also are nothing more than just another expression of you. So if there's no pedestal, we are equal. Everybody's equal. It's not like
We
that.
all do that. We all put people on a pedestal. I still find myself doing it. I know there's people that have put me on that pedestal, and I know I don't belong there.
Well, the one thing I can say for sure is that we know that we don't know, and we're learning and growing and together, and it's just it's a beautiful thing. It's an absolute beautiful thing. And you know, I can't believe that there's a link that we can watch that movie for free. I'm definitely going to check that out.
I'm going to argue against this. If you straight up cannot afford to buy it, cool. But this is an independent project. This is a guy that put every bit of his own money into it. They were filming in their own houses, for heaven's sakes. I personally would say if you can support this project, guys, please do your best to.
I think it's only like $6.99 on if you're an Amazon Prime member. Yeah, you can rent it for two days. So why not?
Or you can buy it for $13.99. That's cheaper than 2 movie tickets.
Yeah, then right.
Watch anybody you want.
Cheaper than one movie ticket.
Yeah.
I mean, really? Really? I mean, movie tickets are like what, $17 or so?
It's not ridiculous. It's not expensive. If you guys can pay to support this project, it's an independent project. He don't have a Spielberg budget. He did this on his shoestring budget. This is a Hollywooded movie, yes, but it's not done by Hollywood. Understand? This is done by an independent creator, a group of people that got together to tell a story to help this community.
Well, I think he has to know that it's out there for free, though, DarkWolf. And I think, you know,
I'm sure he does.
Just like all of us, we don't expect, you know, we don't put our content out expecting to be paid for it, because we don't want it to be limited to the haves can see it and the have-nots
we don't make full-length
cannot.
feature films either.
You don't know. You don't know what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
I joke with you, but I'm saying he had to have put out this little loophole for those that could not scrape up that to be able to still view it, and I think you know, when you think about things with the generosity of the heart, that is in service to others, meaning he didn't do it to turn a profit.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
It's, you know, so he did put a place where it can be found for those that cannot afford to spend it.
And that's what I say. I'm a person that will watch everything online free. I'm the one guy that will tell you don't pay for crap. But in this particular project, I would actually say if you can help support the independent project, I would do it. I personally have, and I don't pay for nothing. As far as watching stuff online, I don't feel that you should have to. I feel all information should be free.
Right.
That said, if it's a project I believe in and I want to help support that team or that group, yeah, I'll put some money into it. Absolutely.
And usually people that do that, they do it quietly.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's not for accolades and things like that. You know, it's just you know, you just do it to help each other out. Now I know that you know, I'm on a shoestring budget, so I can't afford yet to pay for, because they charge us monthly, just like you know a lot of these things we have to pay monthly for these things. So I'm doing the best I can with the budget that I have been allotted. And 99% of what I've got going on is coming from my own pocket. So, you know, that's just how it works, because it's so important for people to understand and understand. And I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't so important, you know, and the phenomenas and all of these anomalies and all this. It doesn't make me a shapeshifter. It just makes me want to share, because I can see a future where money is not going to be the deciding factor on who gets what. I mean, even in the medical practice, if you don't have the money or you don't have insurance, there's the door. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that that's how we should be treating each other, especially with knowing that we're equals. That
I agree.
person is just as equal to medical care or whatever their needs are as anybody else.
I agree. Now, let me tell you another reason that I'm kind of backing this as far as financially going. The conference I just had, we came completely out of pocket. I personally came out of pocket for over half of it, at least half of it. I'd say at least half.
Of course you did.
There was another person who met me in the middle and matched the exact, pretty much the amount I put in, maybe even a little bit more. They probably put in a little bit more than I did. We all came completely out of pocket. We charged next to nothing to get in.
Right.
If we did it for profit, we screwed up horribly.
But that it can't. The outcome of that, from anybody that I've heard talk about it, oh my gosh, such
Absolutely.
a positive experience for so many, and it also ramped up a lot of people's energy and experiences afterwards. That, you know, when we meet people in person and you see them as a real person, it just like magnifies things 10, 20 to 1,000, whatever fold. It's just amazing.
And the reason I bring this up is we're going to need the same type of financial assistance in the future going forward. I can't promise every year I'm going to have that extra backing to be able to do this. So if I'm going to be asking to help fund a project for the community, like a conference, then I would also fund, you know, or at least pay $13 to watch the movie. You know what I mean? That's one reason I'm kind of, I understand from that perspective, from the person behind the scenes doing the project. Like it or not, it takes the money. Shouldn't be about money, and I made sure, you know, not to make it about it the entire time. I pretty much avoid using the word as much as possible.
But you know what? It's sad to say we still need it. You know, and that's just how it goes. Actually, you inspired me, and maybe we could work together on this project on meeting up in Sedona, having an Awake conference. But it's gonna be, it's gonna have all different, like it will have a Mandela effect and speakers for each different section. But we're just in the noodling around, and it's about a 7.5 hour drive for us. So we will go and scout locations and venues and see what the cost would be.
Talk to Kat.
Okay.
She's got a lot of interest down there. She'd really be excited about that project.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to her. I'm sure you guys could, or you girls could work something out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you've just had an experience with putting one together yourself, so you know what goes into it. So maybe you could give me a heads up on what I'm actually looking at. I know I can't do it alone. I cannot do it alone. It's going to be a group effort.
Learning curve. That was a learning curve.
Yeah. So
that was a definite learning. But I had the most amazing group, and I still have this team.
Mm-hmm.
This team, I cannot tell you, Michelle, how proud I am to be a part of this conference team.
Awesome.
I pulled Cynthia Sue Larson in, and she went and just went nuts on it. She said, "Where are you at in this process?" I said, "Look, I've never even been to a conference before, let alone plan one. I have no idea what I'm doing. I know I want to do this. I know what I have in mind. That's where we're at." She took it and ran with it. She pulled in speakers. She did so much stuff. And that was just getting started. When we had that core group, I'm telling you, Michelle, I've never worked with a team where there has been absolutely and entirely zero ego. None. Zip. Zilch. There's been not one time anybody said, "I did this, so you do that." No, never. every time we talk, it's how can I help you? How can I make this better? How can I take this to another level to help the community? Every single person on this team is absolutely about the community, about conferences, about doing events and pulling the community together. I've never in my life worked with such an amazing group of people. I just cannot say enough about them. Chris Sinatra, Shane Robinson, Kimberly Hansen, Lauren Pavelka, or Lauren Cannell now, and Cynthia Sue Larson. I'm telling you, I couldn't be more proud to work with a group of people ever.
I had a learning experience with the event that you put on, but next year, I know now. I know, what to do. Because it was a learning experience. We live and we learn, and that's how we grow. We learn from our mistakes, and then we move on from there.
Absolutely, and that's kind of the human way, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We got to screw up to fix it up.
Got to screw it up first, and then we know exactly where we went wrong, and that way it can be handled in a fashion which would have been more appropriate. I was just trying to be very quiet, and by being quiet,
I have one more announcement. We have set up a special page just for conference videos. For some reason, it's not showing in the YouTube search algorithm. If I said I was surprised, I'd be lying. Once we get some content up there, maybe it'll start showing up. Right now, it's just the channel that's created. The content should be going up very, very soon. It's in post edit right now. We have some interviews that are going to be going up. I think they're going up on Chris Sinatra's, but if I'm not mistaken, everything will be going up on our website. So even if we lose YouTube, we will have stuff on the website.
And we will have meetups.
We will have meetups. We're not done. I might be done with YouTube if they can my channel, but I'm not done. Not entirely. I've still got a lot more projects in the pipeline. We just got to figure out a new platform and wait for the dust to settle.
Well, I've got you on the hot seat here. A part of the Awake conference that was going in the process here, I would like to have you as a speaker. So you dare even think about saying no.
What dates are we looking at?
I'm looking at possibly August of 2020.
So, I can do that.
And then I would like to talk to my 5D Skies, Dead GBK, because I want to have a Skywatch section. It'll be done in sections. I wanted to do it over a 3-day period, and by topics, but also giving people the freedom to go and explore the beautiful sites that are there. They have it's like a river, and it's got the rocks did natural, and they're really super smooth water slides. So you can go down these beautiful water slides that are natural, no scrapes or nothing. It's so smooth. I mean, the place is absolutely gorgeous, and it's a huge energy vortex. Thin spot is what I would call it. And bringing in all of these different people with all of these different talents and gifts to come and speak and show and display, and it's because I want it to be called Awake meaning in all the different areas, leaving none out, even healers or
Is this going to be the Awake conference, the Awake convention?
Still working on like I said, the first thing that we need to
do.
Do
two separate things. I learned that.
It's going to be a conference because I want speakers. So I am going to be going up there with my husband, and we're going to be checking out venues and things like that. But there are a lot of really amazing people that I have met that have they're kind of quiet or shadow banned or just do their thing, but they're sharing such amazing things that I would need to get in touch with, because to go out to talk in front of a lot of people, it takes a lot. It's one thing on YouTube, but it's another in front of a live audience.
Try a live audience and 2 different camera crews.
Yeah, and I'm sure that that's going to go, because it will be recorded and all of that, fun stuff too. So it is it's in the very beginning stages of coming together. Looking at Lionsgate 8/8 of 2020 with 2020 Perfect Vision, Awake, bringing all these different aspects, having a speaker speak for maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes and then another one, then take your lunch break and then do Q&A, and break it down into it that where it's palatable and also people can go and explore and enjoy that beautiful place all at the same time. So,
Yeah.
but I'll be getting with you, but I wanted to grab you while I had you live and recorded. And that was a yes, you guys. You heard that. You heard that here first. DarkWolf.
August 2020. Got it written down.
Nice. And we'll definitely be setting aside vacation time and budget-wise to go to the ME 2020.
And how long am I filling?
I'll get with you on that offline. I have a little list here of speakers that I would just love to have. And yeah, you're on the list. And I did do a breakdown of like how, and then this is just, this is rough draft, just rough draft. Like Mandela Effect, 4 speakers, and then afterwards a panel of, with them, Q&A, okay? And then then the afternoon would be Spiritual Awakening and having 4 speakers and a panel of Q&A. But I don't want to put any speaker up there for too long or that they run out of material. But I want them to be able
down into 90-minute segments, and it worked great.
Right, and then give people breaks in between, restroom, lunch, or whatever. And then the quantum multiverse, and then energy frequency, crystals, sky watching. I mean, there's so many different topics, but and then ET, UFOs. Oh, here's sky watchers and angels and things like that. So, I'm in the
I'll
rough
tell you,
draft
the
phase
best part-
of it.
The best part that I found was the panels. I'm telling you, the speakers are great. The speeches are amazing. No matter what conference you go to, with the panels, there's just something about them you cannot beat. That was probably the most amazing and fun time we had.
And the
Of
last day of the conference, all the speakers together
Yes.
on a panel for a Q&A. All together, from whether it was they spoke on Mandela Effect, or even though, because people can be affected into these areas, but
That was my original thought too. Is I was just going to have the one panel at the very end with all the speakers, but it turned out we did a daily one, which worked just as well.
we'll do the daily one on the topics for the question and answers for the speakers. But at the end,
Right.
because of it just matters on where your forte and your passion is, because a lot of people are cross, and then it's a matter of what they're the most comfortable speaking about, because you talk about Mandela Effect, but you are also could be affected with sky phenomena or different realm anomalies or healing modalities
So
or
we
different.
learned they're all connected somehow.
They're all connected. So
Absolutely.
it makes one big full circle. That's why the conference would just be called Awake,
And I
because
like that.
it's
I like
got
that.
an umbrella where everything will fit together. So, but I'm looking for any kind of help, assistance, and that wants to step forward with organizing or whatever their forte is. And yeah, but we will go and scout the location and try and get the Jerry discount for some hotels. There are campgrounds out there. Some people like to camp. I don't want people to think they have to stay where the venue is, because there's a lot of options there. But just know that like from 10 until 2, that we'll be doing the conference with a lunch break in between. And then from the rest of the time, there's so much to explore there. It's such a beautiful area that, give people enough free time to really absorb Sedona in itself.
You're gonna have to shorten some of your speeches if you're doing 10 to 2, but yeah, that works. I like it. I definitely want to be a part of this. yeah, get with me later. Not, of course, not this evening, but
Oh, no,
sometime
yeah.
soon, and we'll get together. And I can just have a 101 with you, and I kind of go through everything I've learned along this way.
Shoot, if there was a way that, we can get a pool of money together to get Lee out here from the UK to speak, oh my gosh, that would be phenomenal. Just phenomenal. I mean, there's just so many
One
beautiful
problem
people.
I'm having, and maybe you can help me come up with ideas for this offline, is fundraisers. And again, I want to discuss this
Yeah.
offline.
Okay.
But fundraisers, that's something I've been really kind of wrecking my brain on, trying to come up with ideas for that the whole community can both benefit from and join in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm working on that.
Yes, and I have problems with that too. I'm a more of a giver than a receiver, and we got to find balance in that because this,
Well,
but
if we're gonna be
I'll know
doing
more
it,
as I see it.
we got to fund them.
Yeah.
I funded mine out of pocket originally, and again, I'm not complaining about that. I'm proud I did that. I'm glad I did it for the community. I'm happy to say I was able to be in a position to do such. But now that I've seen the links that we can actually do and the professionalism and just what it turned out as, now that we can show what it turned out as, now we need to raise more funds for the next one. Because I can't promise I can afford the next one.
Right.
But it's a
Right.
community effort, so the community wants to give and donate. PayPal's still open. If my channel's still left, you can go to my channel and find the link.
Well, it takes money. I mean, I wish it didn't, but it does. So let me zip up the show. You hang tight just for a second, okay? Because how long have we been going? Oh my God, 2 hours. Oh my gosh, time just gets away from me.
I was going to step away shortly anyway, so yeah, it's perfect timing.
Oh my God.
Before you do that, can I go ahead and just give one last shout out to the chat?
Sure.
All right. Paul Johnstone, Disintegral, Mandela Mile, Rain on the Plains, Janice Ames, that rhymed. It's really been fun having all you guys here. My Skies 5D, thanks for dropping all those links earlier, My Skies. You were dropping all kind of Donald Hoffman stuff. Guys, go check out Donald Hoffman's work if you haven't already. It's not so crazy it's above your head. It's very layman speak, but it's very intriguing. The ideas he presents and puts forward, it's convinced me simulation theory might be a thing, and that's hard to do. I've been fighting that for a hot minute. My Skies 5D, we got Mandela Mile, Helen, Sky Gazer the Frosty. Who else we got here? Disintegral, Paul Johnstone, Casey's Corner. Casey's Corner was the one that was watching Hoffman just, I guess, yesterday or today. And she said it was really synchronistic that I had mentioned it. I just ran across him by chance. No, I don't think it was by chance. I think Cynthia mentioned him at one point. But I didn't look him up till later.
Nice.
F.N. Stark and Quartz, Quantum, and Doc Michael and Prelim, and I believe that's it.
Thank you, everybody, for coming and always.
Oh, Ronan. Sorry. Ronan just jumped in there at the very end. Ronan the voice.
Okay. Always share what you know and listen so we can grow. I love you guys so much. Thank you for spending 2 hours with us. Have yourself a wonderful night.